To everyone, the situation given is that an early marriage is encourageable. For that, I am totally agree with the situation, and I have 3 points to support my opinion. The first one is avoid social problems. Second, build the sense of responsibility in young age. And the third one, greater chance to have conceived baby. Now, I believe the first one, my first point, which is avoid social problem, because when you marry in such an early marriage, you are avoiding the social problems, which is now very increasing rates, such as baby dumping, free sex. So when you marry early, you can avoid these social problems. Okay. The second one is develop a sense of responsibility in young age. When you are married, you already have the big commitment in your life. So indirectly, you are developing the sense of responsibility to your husband and to your family. Okay, the third one is greater chance to have a conceived baby. Okay, if you are not married in a early age, such a young age, meaning that you married when your age is when you are greater chance to have conceived baby, meaning that if you have a marriage in late age, you might have the risk of having the risk.
Okay. Diana.
Okay.
Screen test, take 1, Diana.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, Pandit and all. Based on the situation given, I totally agree that women love shopping compared to men. Therefore, I would like to give 3 reasons to justify my point, which is stress reliever, desire, and sense of passion. The main point is women love shopping compared to men because it's some sort of stress reliever. When we see, when women see colorful or pretty stuff, they will tend to make them more happy and make them more energetic. So it's also a type, it's also a way to pamper themselves. And the second point is desire. Why women love shopping? Because it's an inborn nature of women to love shopping. Usually, women tend to make shopping as part of their hobby as well. So by just doing window shopping, women will become more happier. And lastly, sense of passion also the reason why women love shopping compared to guys. Is because women usually hesitate to wear clothes twice. So for women, they usually specify each clothes for specific function. In conclusion, I strongly believe that women love shopping compared to guys. It is because of stress reliever, desire, and sense of passion. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone. The question I have given is what love online games compared to women, and I have 3 points. That is, they like to release tension, they want more challenges and adventure, and as their hobby. First point is to release tension. Most of them both like to release tension because maybe in college they have a lot of assignment to do, and after finish their schedule about to study, they will go to their room and only play games. Other than that, they want more challenges and adventure. Like we know, boys always like challenges. Because of that, with play game, they can become more satisfied and enjoy with what they do. The third point is as their hobby. Most of them, they make game like their hobby because every day they will play game to spend their time. If they don't have any job to do or work assignment, example, the most favorite game like Dota is Need for Speed. As a conclusion, boys love online game compared to women to release their tension. They want more challenges, adventures, and as their hobby. So, thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone in this room. And today, the topic that has been assigned to me is the world today are too dependent on petroleum. And for this topic, I agree and I also disagree about this topic. Okay, why am I agreeing with this topic? This is because to a certain sector like industrial sector, there are no conventional ways to replace the petroleum that used to produce goods. So there's no new technologies that can replace petroleum. So that is why we today has to agree that we still depend on petroleum on a certain sector. But I also disagree with this topic because you know that petroleum is very synonym to cars and vehicles. So most of the vehicles that we know use petroleum as their fuel source. But nowadays we can see that new models of cars that just been released by all the vehicles company now uses green technologies like electric cars. They do not depend totally on petroleum. So I disagree with the topic, but on a certain degree because the new technology is still not perfect. They still need to use half of the requirement to move the vehicles on petroleum, but they use less petroleum than before. So I disagree with the topic that we are too dependent on petroleum today because the new technology has helped us to reduce the usage of petroleum today. So thank you.
Spring test, take 1, Khadisa.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. And today we are talking about it is better to marry someone that much older than you. And I am strongly believe that it is better for us to marry someone that much older for you, especially women. I said that because of 2 points. Which is the first one is because of wide experience, and the second one is provide better future. Okay, as for my point number 1, wide experience. In my opinion, I think that older men, especially, are mature enough to cut.
It's too messy to be a
Screen test, take 2, Khadisa.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. Today we are talking about it is better to marry someone that much older than you, and I totally agree with this statement because I said so because of 2 points, which is the first one is wide experience and the second one is provide better future. Okay, as for my first point, wide experience, it is I said so because of a man, especially ya Allah.
to all. Okay, today I'm going to talk about thus the subsidies provided by the government is distributed fairly enough. I totally disagree with this statement and I have 3 points to support my opinion. Okay, the points are: rich family gets when it is specified for poor family, considered bribe, and controlled product. Okay, for the first point, rich family gets. Okay, it is very obvious in Malaysia there are still many family who still in poverty, and the subsidies should be fully given to them. As for rich family, they can get everything they want because they have money. So this should be considered as
Unfair.
Spring test take 2 Aini. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all. Today I'm going to talk about thus the subsidies provided by the government is distributed fairly enough. I totally disagree with this statement and I have 3 points to support my opinion. The points are: rich family gets when it is specified for poor family, considered bribe, and controlled product. In Malaysia, it is very obvious there are still many families who live in poverty, as in the TV program Bersamamu, where we combine work and joint venture to help the poor families. So, in my opinion, all the subsidies should be given to the poor family, because it seems very unfair to give it to the rich family, as rich family can afford buying everything because they have money. Second is, it is considered bribe if it is received many times, especially during the election. It is always keep repeating, giving the same thing just to consider bribe to vote for them. Okay, and the third point is some products for the subsidies is control product. The main objective of the subsidies is to help the poor, but you can see it is control products such as sugar, flour. This is important in considered as essential in a family's life. So this should be not a control product. Okay, as the conclusion, I totally disagree about the subsidies provided by the government is distributed fairly enough, and I think it is not fair enough. Thank you.
The screen test, take 3, Kalisa.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. Today we're going to talk about it is better to marry someone that much older than you, and I totally agree with this statement because I have 2 strong evidence to support my point, which is the first one is wide experience and the second one is stable career. Okay, as for my first point, wide experience, I said so because in terms of relationship, when we having a relationship with men, we or a woman of course prefer a matured guy or man to ya Allah,
Go down.
Nur Atila bin Inodin, the topic is
Screen test, take 1, Akila. Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to everyone. Okay, today we'll talk about brain is more important than beauty. Okay, for me, I am agree with the topic, and I have 2 reasons to support my topic, which are: first one is brain useful for education, and the second one is brain make ourselves beauty. Okay, I believe that brain is really useful for our education, so that without brain you cannot go further to continue our studies to overseas or somewhere else. And then we need to think. If you are working, you need to think to do something something good to organize your work during working. Okay. The second one is brain makes ourselves beauty. Okay, without brain, we are useless. Okay, nothing. Because when you have brain, you can think anything. Okay, so other people can look us as a smart or as an intelligent person, even though we are bad looking sometimes. So, in conclusion, I strongly believe that brain is really important than beauty, because of brain is really useful for education, and brain makes ourselves beauty. Thank you.
Screen test, take 1, Ajwani.
Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to everyone. Today we are talking about which should be taking the responsibility when students have discipline program. So I have 3 main points to discuss, which is parents, counselor and friends. Okay, the first main point is parents. Parents should lack of attention for their children to share their problems. And then for the example, parents should going to holiday and take time for family and children and share their problems. And the second main point is friends. The friends also must give support to friends and do not give peer pressure to friends. And for the example, friends must invite their members to join to going to play bowling for their release tension. And the last main point is see counselor. Okay, counselor also can share and solve their problem to share the problem to solve their problem. For example, at the college, have the counselor want to invite and see. As a conclusion, students can see the parents, share the problems, counselor and friends.
Screen test, take 4, Kalisa.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. Today we're going to talk about an interesting topic, which is it better to marry someone that much older than you? And I totally agree with this kind of topic, and for that reason I have 2 points to be highlighted, which is the first one is wide experience and the second one is stable career. Okay, as for the first one, wide experience. We, as a woman, especially when it comes to marriage, of course we want to have someone that mature enough, comfortable with us, and especially with
Screen test, take 5, Kalisa.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone. Today we're going to talk about an interesting topic, which is it is better to marry someone that much older than you, and I totally agree with this kind of statement. And for that reason, I have 2 points to be highlighted, which is the first one is wide experience, and the second one is stable career. Okay, as for the first one, wide experience, when it comes to marriage, we women especially, of course, want to prefer someone that much better for us in terms of the maturity in order to secure our better life in the future. Okay, when we speak about relationship with men, of course, we want to continue and to also further it to a serious serious relationship which is marriage, and I think, in my opinion, I must say that it is better for us to choose someone that is suitable, understanding us, and have a lot of certain qualification to fix into ourselves. It is, for example, when we choosing a mature guy, especially when it's come to the matter of argument, mature guy will act wisely in order to prevent or to avoid certain problem or situation from keep going, or from you know what I cannot to in order to make it in the long term. Okay. As for number 2, stable career. Why I said it is important is because having a mature guy with a stable career will
Let's take one, Atika.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to all of you. The situation given is technology makes human being becomes more lazy. I totally agree with this statement, which come up with 3 points to support this opinion. First one is neglect their responsibilities, lazy to think, and waste of time. The main points of this is can neglect their responsibility towards their family. As a child, for sure their parents want their children to success in their study. So when the technology is developed one time, the students will become lazy and neglect their responsibility to study and not doing their assignment at all given by their lecturers. And for the work person, they will do something as what they know without any research or requirements what the employee asks. And the second one is lazy to think. Lazy to think can be elaborated when the person is just only can Google on it and then can get the information what they want. And for student sites, they only can Google what the lecturers ask and then get the answers. Like nowadays, we are provided with the Oxford Online Dictionary to get the meaning of what students don't know. Okay. And the last one is waste of time. Waste of time is means that can elaborate when the student is forget to have their meals and prayer, and also not mingles with their friends in their surrounding. And in the conclusions, I strongly believe that technology makes human being
Okay. Screen test, take one, Idham.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone. Today we are talking about, is it true woman is more better stable person than man when going to shopping? And in my opinion, I'm afraid to tell you guys that I disagree with this statement. Sorry. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone. Today we are talking about, is it true woman is more better stable person than man when going to shopping? And in my opinion, I am disagreeing with this statement, and I would like to give 3 reasons for my point, which are spend on unnecessary things, choosing power, and also market sale. Okay, firstly, spend on unnecessary things. Okay, as we know, when we have girlfriend or perhaps we have wife in future, women is usually known as they are shopping as they like to choose and buy whatever they want if they have the money. And compared to men are more details. They make the shopping list, what they want, what they have to buy, and others. They are not like women that have just gone to Carrefour, Tesco, whatever it is, and shopping whatever they want. Okay, the second one will be choosing power. Choosing power means that, again, I repeat my statement before, when we have girlfriends or wife in the future, and accompany them to shopping, perhaps in times where we barely see them, right? And then they go to the shop, shopping, and then they just survey the price, the design, the product, and then they just go out without buying anything. And then they go to the next shop, shop B, and they again survey, and didn't buy anything. And so that is the choosing power of the woman, and the fact that women have more lust than men, and one of their lust is shopping. So it is not true that women.
Let's take one place.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum and good evening to everyone. The statement given that is for me today is students nowadays are more intelligent than before, and I am strongly agree that for this statement because of three main reasons, which is the first one, information technology, second one, commodity, and the third one, learning methods. Okay, the first one, information technology, as you can see nowadays has been widely used by today's generation, and for example the internet. It has made students to find or recover data information as much faster than before, rather than searching through books. Other than that, smartphone is also an example. Today, as you can see, 7-year-old kids can use smartphone, right? So, proceed to my next point, which is commodity. The first one is Wi-Fi. Students can access internet from by using the smartphone. Students can access the internet from anywhere at any time. Other than that, LCD projector also helps students in doing their presentation. This will replace mahjong paper, which is takes too many times or takes much time to do it. Okay, the last point, which is learning methods. As you can see, we have been introduced with the PBL, which is problem-based learning method, which is better than spoon feeding. By spoon feeding, as you can see before, makes students much more lazy because they have been provided information all by mostly from lecture, and they don't experience the problem by themselves. As a conclusion, I believe that commodity, internet, and information IT have made students much more intelligent than before. Thank you.